Now to our talk segment this morning, President Bola Tinubu has declared a nationwide security emergency following a rise in kidnapping, insurgency and violent attacks across several states. In his address, he expressed sympathy for victims and honored security personnel who have lost their lives while defending the country. As part of emergency response, the president ordered the recruitment of 50,000 new police officers and authorized the use of NYSC orientation camps as temporary training centers to speed up deployment. He also directed that police officers serving in VIP protection be withdrawn, retrained and sent to high-risk areas to strengthen frontline security. Now, President Bola Tinubu further instructed the intelligence agency to expand the deployment of forest guard to dismantle criminal hideouts in Nigeria. Joining us via Zoom for this conversation is security consultant Darlington Umoru. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast Saturday.
Good morning. It's a sunny Saturday, and it's my pleasure being here once again.
Absolutely. Glad to have you on the show. The Inspector General of Police disclosed that 11,566 officers have been withdrawn from VIPs. There are many formations within the police that do assign policemen and women to private individuals, the Special Protection Unit, the Force Headquarters, missions, commands, and various commands into this deployment. Don't you think there should be an audit to know the exact number and to see compliance to President Tinubu's directive at the moment?
When you say an audit to know the exact number, I don't know. I'm not sure all of them in the SP units have returned. Because I've seen some protests, particularly politicians in the National Assembly saying that they will be open to bandits, if all of their security aids are withdrawn. It's not the first time we are hearing or seeing situations like this where the police IG would be asking all of them in the SPU to return to barracks and then be redeployed to other places. We've seen that in most times when new Inspector General of Police are appointed. The first pronouncements they make is to ask that all of them in the SPU should return. But how often have they complied? How often? The one before this one, we saw situations where even the members of the National Assembly did state categorically challenging the IGP that their men would not return because they are playing fundamental roles, in their lives and in their family. Away from that, compliance now. Yes, this Egbetokun has said that about 11,000 have returned, and we have also seen situations where some of the police officers are complaining that they've been redeployed to very dangerous places. Why are you a policeman? At this point in time in our security, particularly when Mr. President has declared a state of emergency on security, we need every security officer, men and women, to have put their hands on deck, so that we'll be able to, if not achieve entirely without politicizing the whole thing, at least let's achieve to some extent. How many do we have before now in terms of the numerical strength of the Nigerian police? How many were they up until now when Mr. President has opted or listened to us? We have often cried out to say we need more men in the security, we need more men in the military. If you see what the bandits or terrorists are doing, the terrorists and bandits are not, I'm not sure they are more in men than what we have in the Nigerian police and, well, let's say the security agents and the military put together. But each time they are going to launch an attack, they go in numbers to make sure that they outnumber the security personnel that will be available at those places where they are going to, even if they are not going to hit the security agents. We have seen that. And so let us replicate all of that. We need more men in the Nigerian police. Oftentimes, those recruited every year do not actually replace the number of policemen that are either killed or maimed, that will not be active in service. And then you have a chunk of them guarding VIPs, VVIPs, and then reducing the number that is supposed to police the society, police crimes, monitor activities in town, and all of that. And so, two things coming at the same time are in the right direction. We need more men. Yes, recruit more. Yes, withdraw those who are policing these VVIPs. Let them go for. The president did not just say they should withdraw the police protection personnel. He also opened up another angle and said they should go for the what do you call them now, NSCDC, to replace the police in carrying out the role of the special protection unit, personnel.
Okay. Morning, Mr. Darlington. It's good to have you here. So now my question now just takes you back a little bit, just for clarity's sake and for reason of some of the viewers watching who don't necessarily understand to the full extent what it means when the president declares a state of nationwide security emergency. Can you please explain to us what that actually implies? And then what are the steps that needs to be taken by several security operatives, also citizens as well, to ensure that the security emergency declared is effective?
Well, what that means is that ordinarily, when you declare a state of emergency on security, in a place, particularly, except that Mr. President has declared that in the entire country. Otherwise, the governance architecture would have been changed. If you were declaring that on a few states, it meant that perhaps those who are in leadership would have stepped aside, allow security agents to take over, and then carry out pure security roles. Now, it meant that in the country, we have basic and fundamental security challenges. And so government is giving priority attention, or government will be giving priority attention to security matters. And that is why, for instance, you have Mr. President calling for all of them in the SPE units to return and then withdraw them from merely policing a few VIPs of VVIPs and sending them to police more people in the society, and then beyond all of that, Mr. President and his cabinet will be giving priority to them, providing fundamentals for them, and having his ears and listening to the commanders and hearing and holding meetings with them, knowing what to do, when to provide equipment and all of that, monitor situations and see how all of that can help the situation. Focus is entirely, almost not entirely, now its focus is almost entirely on security or insecurity, if you like, whichever way you want to see it from. And so what we have now is that the federal government is showing more concern, perhaps maybe because of the interest of America and the agreement. Of course, don't forget that a committee left this country to hold meetings with officials of the American government to give a current situation and what the government is doing to, taking charge of her own security in Nigeria. And then America, they've reached an agreement in terms of how they would be assisting Nigeria as against what Donald Trump dropped on his social media handle that sparked off some flames.
Mr. Umoru, it's good that we're recruiting 50,000 police officers in Nigeria, but how can we get rid of these terrorists, bandits, bedeviling Nigeria? We're still talking about negotiating with some of these people. Where lies intelligence? Where lies technology where we can use to crush these people and make Nigeria safe for Nigerians?
I take it from the last question. Crush these people, yes, it's easy to say, but it's not cheap to achieve. If you saw in the last 1 month, in between the last few weeks, The terrorists, well, particularly ISWAP committed a heinous crime. They killed a brigadier general of the Nigerian army. You also saw situations where the bandits also are kidnapping in mass children, from boarding houses, from schools. Why are they doing all of this? Now, if you wish to crush them with the equipment you have, like I have said, one Tucano, one super Tucano is good enough to crush the bandits and the Turkey called terrorists in Sambisa forest. But what have they succeeded in doing? Taking children, using them as human shield, and then stopping you from crushing them. You cannot go level where they are without causing collateral damages, destroying these children or those they have taken in captivity. So it's easy to crush them. It's easy to know where they are. One of the challenges the security agents and the military have had over time in crushing these persons when things happen. It's not as if they cannot locate through intel where these persons are. They swing into action. They are able to find them out, and then what they do is to, surround them and make sure they do not move beyond where they are, and gradually either talk with them to release the children or have all of them or have them crushed. But if you chose to just go in and crush them, I tell you, all of those children or persons they have taken in captivity would be killed, because they'll be using them first as shield, in the course of doing all of that. And of course, America will not take it lightly with you, and other international organizations that are watchers will come heavily on the Nigerian military. We have had that in the past, and people like us, Darlington, have been out to quickly defend the Nigerian military. There are no wars where you don't have casualties, but how minimal those casualties are or become is what is most important, where people consider. And so the Nigerian government is particularly, I don't know, let me not speak for the Nigerian government. The Nigerian military is particularly concerned about this rules of engagement. There's what is called rules of engagement, in the course of carrying out all of this attack on these criminals,
okay.
The terrorists. Yeah,
Mr. Umoru, we'll take a break at the moment. When we come back, there are many questions that you need to answer this morning. Is negotiation the way out of this quagmire bedeviling the country? When are we going to see more arrests of these bandits? Join us after this break. Welcome back. We're still talking security challenges in the country, and we have a security expert, Darlington Umoru. Many thanks for staying on the course of the show this morning. I made a question earlier. When are we going to start seeing arrests of these bandits? Is it negotiation the way out?
Well, it's to me, arrest is not enough. We have been seeing arrest. We have seen arrests. Over time, the military have gone into the theater and came back with arrest. They have gone into theater and came back with rescued persons who were, who were taken by these bandits. If you're talking about bandits in particular now. We have seen several arrests, but do you have places to house these arrests? Where to warehouse them? Talking about correctional centers now, do you have enough when you bring them out in numbers? You have seen situations where even the Nigerian government oftentimes would release back after profiling and, after profiling some of these persons and working on them, they say, okay, some of them say they have repented, and then they're allowed to return to the society. What is the result we have gotten from all of that? We have even seen situations where some were granted amnesty from certain states, specifically Zamfara state and a few other states. We have also seen situations where they had non-kinetic negotiations in some states like Katsina, for instance, where they come judge with the people and go back and say, okay, we are dropping our arms and all of that. The question I want to ask is, it's not just the arrest. What do we make of the arrest? What do we make of the arrest? The National Assembly recently has, I think they are trying to pass into law, or they have succeeded in doing so. No, not yet. That once you are caught as a bandit, the sentence should be death sentence and all of that. The issue is what have been the laws? What the government cannot act beyond the laws. The judiciary, what has the judiciary done? That's what the question should be. What has the judiciary been doing with those of them that have been arrested over time? Is it just giving them a tap on the back? Haven't said, okay, they make confessions and say, okay, we are sorry for doing this. We will not do it again. You give them a tap on the back or the back of their head, or rub their skull and tell them, okay, go back and sin no more. Do they really go back and sin no more? That is the question. Why would they multiply if they go back and sin no more? We are in a quagmire. We are in a quagmire. We are in a quagmire. The whole country now is facing security. Everybody now is panicking because you see videos made by these people circulating in social media where they are talking and threatening to attack certain and different parts. They have moved from west to north central. From north central now they are moving over to the south, to the west, southwest and south. And so you saw a situation. I also saw a video when they said they were threatening to get into Port Harcourt. After all of that, I saw another video where somebody was reporting that they actually got, a few of them actually got into Port Harcourt, but they were taken out.
Yes, sir. Okay.
We are in a quagmire.
You are very correct, sir. All of these things are things we've been seeing on social media, I mean, for a while now. We literally see the bandits out there, even threatening in some cases. Now, are you saying because there's no system post-arrest, we shouldn't bother arresting them yet? Are you saying we should keep on allowing them, I mean, we should just get the people out and then just leave them and not arrest them because the judiciary has not done anything yet when they are arrested? Is that your position? Because we're not quite clear.
Those are your words and not mine exactly. Mine is that arrests are being made over time, and as arrests are being made over time, we should do more beyond just arresting them. Arrest them and the judiciary should do what they are supposed to do. If you have to send them to jail, send them to jail. That is my position. Not just arrest, like I guess you weren't actually listening to me quite well. I said, is it enough to just arrest them and then at the end of the day, they are released to go back to meet their people, haven't made confessions and declare that they will not sin again? Okay. I'm saying that arrest them, then the judiciary should do its work, and the National Assembly should also give us enabling laws.
Okay, thank you.
That will take control of the arrest. Is this just, I said all of that.
Okay, thank you for your clarification. Now your position is clear. They should be arrested and then the judiciary should do what they need to do. Thank you. So now let's talk about the situation of self-defense, because we've also heard from the DSS Director General in the person of Adeola Oluwatosin Ajayi. He has actually come out to say that as much as, yes, we're looking to the police and security services to actually protect the people, but he believes that majorly community people should actually start standing up themselves. He actually even stated situations in Bauchi State when he was serving there as state director, where the people actually stood up and fought for themselves, actually waged a resistance against these bandits, and then since then no incident reoccurred in those regions. So would you also say that that is a viable or could be a viable solution to bringing an end to terrorism in certain states?
Security is the business of everybody. It's not just the business of the security agents or agencies. I've said that even on TVC severally. Security is the business of all of us. Those men that are recruited, men and women that are recruited into all these agencies are no spirits. They need you to provide information. You need to provide information for them. It's one of the ways you have to also act. See strange movement, report them, see things you think are strange, talk about them, reach out to the security agencies on time, and then do not, because of fear or favor or thereabout, keep quiet when you see things going wrong or things happening. One, two, communities should also come together, to form teams of, if aside from the state, vigilante teams. You can also have a team. One happened where I came from at a point in time where the men, youths, oftentimes will share themselves at night to stay awake, to watch out for strange movements and all of that, and raise alarm where there's need to raise alarm. All of these are part of contributions. The contributions come in different forms. But what I do not subscribe to, is the fact that in some states, like somebody said in Kwara State, that some vigilantes were being trained on how to handle assault rifle. The Firearms Act does not permit individuals, non-state actors, or individuals to bear the assault rifles. The firearms, has provisions for the kind of firearm that individuals who are non-military or security agents, the state actors now can bear. The state can support with all of that, but basically, fundamentally, they should be out there to provide information for the military and the security agents to do their lawful duties.
Absolutely. It's a fine place to leave it. Security consultant Darlington Umoru, many thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast Saturday.
Thank you.
My pleasure, always on TVC. Thank you.
All right, you said something about when you see something, you say something. So
Absolutely.
security is something that we all have to get involved. It's
Absolutely.
not a time for blaming someone or politicizing this issue of insecurity in Nigeria.
Yes, of course. And I think what is even more interesting for me is some people talking about how there's actually been situations where someone actually went on social media and said there was this region in Katsina where kidnappers kidnapped some people, and the villagers went to kidnap the kidnappers' relatives, and they actually released them. They even gave the villagers they kidnapped money to go back to their communities because they wanted their relatives out. Now, of course, we're not saying because kidnapping is a crime and should not be done at all and all of that. But then again, this is the kind of things that these people, it seems like they're responding to. And people have also spoken about, self-defense and all of that.
But we hope that the law, if it's amended, the issue of Terrorism Act, the death sentence will also serve to some of these bandits.
Of course, absolutely.
Join us after the break as we discuss how practical training and empowerment program can help build a thriving future through Renewed Hope agenda. Do not go anywhere. It promises to be interesting.